Lots of questions about my hair. Yes, it's real. It's gray, and it's not as easy as you may think. I first of all, I love my gray hair. I really, really, really love my gray hair. I didn't know that this is what it was going to look like. I had no idea, and I like many of you, um, depending on what your age, I chased, my gray for a long, long time, for many years. As a matter of fact, I had no idea what my real color was. I always, I had a colorist, and I guess depending on what city you live in, how your salon, because I live in a metropolitan city. Hair is expensive in the Twin Cities, and where I went, you see a colorist that's separate from the person who cuts your hair, and I'm vain about my hair, and I was willing to pay what it cost to have good, attractive hair, and so in addition to just coloring it, I would do the highlight or the low light or whatever they called it, so that I didn't look like Morticia. And I had like a honey sort of brown, and I was starting to think about retiring. And I remember that I also get my eyebrows waxed, when I go every 6 weeks, whatever it was. The gray that was starting to come out, they are kind of wild, so they have a different texture. So I really needed to sort of be on top of it. The last time and please don't be shocked, and don't comment and tell me how in your town. I know everybody's different. Please don't judge me. I don't have grandchildren. I have an adult child who's on his own. So I know if this sounds like a lot of money, forgive me. We all spend our money on different things. The last time that I remember with my eyebrows, with a tip, with the color and the cut and the whole thing, it was $340. And I thought, okay, so I've been spending that, like, whatever, every 6 weeks. I can do a lot after I retire with that money. What could I do? I mean, that's a lot of money. So the place that I had been going to before in Minneapolis, whenever I would talk to my colorist about that, and I know you're going to say, oh, well, she was making money. Well, yeah, I understand that. But whenever I would say, gee, I wonder what I would look like, because that's when all those girls, young kind of, famous girls, started to color their hair. And I said, I wonder what I would look like with gray hair. And she would say, I'm not going to let you cut your hair because you're going to look old. So, I didn't even think about it. But right a few months before, I was going to retire, I didn't want to have to drive into, Minneapolis, because I live in St. Paul. So there you go. So I started going to a different salon, which is very, sort of uptown, but in St. Paul. And so I met a new hair colorist, and just, one of those kind of very trendy. And so I said, I'm wondering, and she said, oh, we have all kinds of ways. I would help you, and we can do something, because I didn't want to cut off all my hair and then start and look like a skunk, where that stuff starts, and I just didn't want to look kind of weird, like grandma at the nursing home with her hair not kept. And Katie is her name. She said, oh no, I can help you. We would do this coloring that we would match your gray, and then we would work with you, and it was probably going to take about 18 months. And I did it. And then once, probably the first 6 months, I thought, oh, geez, do I really? I mean, it didn't look like me. The coloring is different. And so that's also when I started to do the whole makeup thing, because I really needed a little more color. I really needed to be a lot more cognizant of wearing. I wear a lot of black. I've always liked that. But I had to really pay a lot more attention of, really wearing mascara, or wearing eye makeup, or, putting bigger earrings, or. So anyway, that's how I got. So yes, it's natural. It does need different care, and I do use some different products. I found everything that I know now about gray hair through YouTube. There are women out there who have grown their hair out, and if somebody wins today who is at gray, I will send you products because you really need a special shampoo to keep it, because gray will absorb minerals. So, we happen to have a water softener and all that stuff because of the water, but it will, and I just like it, and I know that people stop me and ask me, and I go out of my way when I see a woman who is really doing something with her gray hair. I will go out of my way to compliment her, whether it be at Target or, when we go to the theater or any place. I will go out of my way, because I know that it takes a little bravery at first to do it. My mom was not happy, and she's 86. She was not happy at first because, if I have gray hair, what does that make her? So until she, the second year that she came to visit and she saw me, and she finally kind of said, wow, it really looks elegant, which was shocking to me when she said that. So yes, it's what it is. Let's see. A lot of experiencing Nirvana, about my hair, and Holly Ballard about my skin, and yes, about, and I will try to collaborate with Liz about beauty products. So I think that's 20 minutes. We're going to stop there, and let's see what we get. And then we will do Loosing Lou. Loosing Lou, let's see this way. I don't think I can see, but there you go, Loosing Lou. Loosing Lou, send me your stuff, and we'll find, and I'll contact you too. So I'm going to do another one about lifestyle. To all of you, thank you so much. Let's see when we can do another one. And the other thing about beauty is to just own it. And I'm saying this with a lot of love and respect. There have been times in my life when I haven't felt very attractive. And you know that when you have an eating disorder, that eating disorder really directs your life, how you feel. And it doesn't matter what the scale says. It doesn't matter whether you're 140 or 240 or 440. But I think that self-care is so important. And a lot of times it really drives everything else. It drives how you eat. It drives how you feel about yourself. It drives how others treat you. And one of the things that I have always done is that I tried really, really hard to dress well, no matter what the budget was. I always was a sharp dresser because I was a sharp shopper. So I always found things on sale. And I was never one of those people that I'm not buying clothes until I lose weight, because I knew that may not come, and I knew that I needed to feel okay about myself when I left the house. So whatever was my budget, I decided what I could afford and couldn't afford, and then I did it, and that made a huge difference in my life. And it continues to do so. So that's coming from a 64-year-old. So if you're 28 or 38 or in your 40s, just think about that, because how you present yourself, if you wait to be the right weight, whatever that means, and you don't feel pretty about something, whether it be a good haircut, whether it be the color that you do, if you're waiting for your pretty to arrive, you may miss it. Today is your pretty. You know, bloom where you're planted. Today, this may be it. So just do whatever it takes to make yourself. Go get your red lipstick today.